Florida Congressman Randy Fine created a stir over the weekend with this post criticizing Islam. If they force us to choose, the choice between dogs and Muslims is not a difficult one. In isolation, the post seems weird and maybe even a bit racist. In context, it makes a little more sense. Fine was responding to a Daily Mail story about one of New York City Mayor Mamdani's biggest supporters and her call to ban dogs in the Big Apple. Anyone who knows the least little bit about Islam knows the religion considers dogs unclean and treats them as such, beasts to be used and abused because of their status in the earthly hierarchy. One might be tempted to say lots of religions include a belief in certain animals and activities as unclean. That doesn't make it okay to speak cruelly of them. That would be a naive view of what Fine was really getting at and what plagues us at the root of this conversation. This isn't a post about hating Muslims. This is a post about preservation and the incompatibility of most of the world with Western Christian values. When Fine says he would choose dogs over Muslims, he isn't saying that Muslims are lower than dogs. He is saying he values the innocent over the death cult of Islam. And that's what we're really up against here. This is a clash of culture, not race. This is about one culture that values and protects the weakest among us versus another culture that sees weakness as divine punishment. This is about a society that elevates the least versus a society that shuns and abuses the least. It's not the dogs we're choosing over Islam. It is the calling to protect the weak and value the most innocent and vulnerable among us, the elderly, babies in the womb, and yes, even dogs. A pet dog is a luxury of love. Some dogs have jobs, but in the West, our dogs are seen as family, innocent, loyal, and loving. They provide a service that cannot be quantified in dollars or influence. We love dogs for no other reason than we love dogs. We protect them because they are weaker than us. When Muslims tell Westerners our dogs are unclean and should be banned from public life, they're not talking about the dogs. They are talking about us. They are talking about our culture. They are talking about banning our values. And that is why Randy Fine said what he said. And that is why every thinking American should agree with him. We choose the dogs over Islam not because we think Muslims are subhuman, but because we think Islam is inhuman. In the waning days of the 2024 election, the cultural landscape exploded after a story dropped about Haitian illegal immigrants eating cats and dogs on the streets of a small Ohio town. Trump made his now famous complaint, and the internet was off to the races. Just as with Fine's statement, the left became distracted by the race angle while completely ignoring Trump's real point. Import the third world, get third world values. In other words, we don't do that here. We are standing at a crossroads. Which way will we go? Cultural suicide on the altar of multiculturalism, or Western pride that rests on the altar of the Lord Jesus Christ? Every liberal screaming bloody murder about Fine's comments today are the same people who proudly boast about how much they prefer the animal companions over people. It's a point of moral superiority for most of them. People are the worst. I'll take my dog any day over dumb humans. Reddit advice chat rooms are filled with people lamenting the breakup of a relationship because they would not give up their problematic dog or cat. Look at PETA. Liberals choose animals over people all the time. Inherently, they know there is something good and right in taking care of and nurturing the vulnerable among us. In liberal America, being abusive to animals is a one-way ticket to cancel culture. Michael Vick, anyone? I choose the folks who don't hate cats and dogs, not because I care more about animals than humans, but precisely because I know humans cannot and should not trust other humans who see animals as objects of derision. Those humans are always, without exception, dangerous to other humans.